I'm David Fuller. I'm Chairman of the Board of Grand Pacific Health. I've been on the board since 2011. My current position is that I'm CEO of a registered training organisation and secondary school system in Wollongong. My background is education. I've been involved in education all my professional life, both here in Australia, Papua New Guinea, Malaysia and England. I wasn't initially attracted to the role. I was appointed to the role, but I soon grew into it, and the reason I grew into it was because I noticed that the values of Grand Pacific Health align very closely with my own values, and that is don't do anything unless you're passionate about it, don't do anything unless you do it well, and if you're going to do something, make sure that it has an impact in the community in which you're living. And Grand Pacific Health do all of those things, and they do them really well. I think what I like most about Grand Pacific Health is that it looks after its people. It's very people-centred and it's very community-centred. It cares for the people in the communities where it has a presence, and it cares very much for the people who work for it, realising that they've got a unique value proposition quite often that they bring to particularly a rural and remote community, and that is very, very difficult for us to attract sometimes. And so we have to care for them, we have to make sure that we look after them, and which I think we do, and we do it really well. I think for most people, they don't know what the board does, and that's fine. So long as the board does its job well, that doesn't really matter. But for those that are on the board, our role is the governance of the organisation, to make sure that it's financially stable and secure, that it can meet all of the demands on it that our creditors have on us, that we pay our staff, that we meet all of our commitments, that we maintain our compliance registrations and all of the things that we need to do legally. We also are responsible for setting a strategic direction for the organisation, so that the future of the organisation has been considered by people who stand apart from the organisation and come from a different perspective, and assist the CEO with helping to articulate that strategic plan into a vision for the organisation. The future for Grand Pacific Health, I don't think has ever been better than it is right now. We've been through some interesting years of amalgamation and looking at different things that we think we might like to do, but I think pretty clearly our core business is mental health, and dealing with mental health in rural and regional communities seems to be our core business. We do it well, and we're going to continue to do it well. Unfortunately, there's a very high need for good service providers in the mental health space. So it's sad that that is the case, but I feel that Grand Pacific Health does what it does well, and therefore it has a very bright future.